going in and out of the Aquarian age into the going out of Piscean age to Aquarian age, you no longer are fisher of men. What that make you? Now you a hunter of birds.
That J you was talking about.
Yep.
That hook. That's why it was important during that, man. Yo, that's wild.
Right. Now, that hook, when you hunting birds, turns into a long barrel pistol that became a rifle. When you straighten that son of a bitch back out.
Now it's back to this. Okay.
So now you're not fishing in the water, you shooting in the sky. It's a complete flip of opposites, polar opposites, a pole flip, an energetic pole flip.
The birds. That would be us, man. That would be the people.
Right. But in this case, when we talking about hunting the birds, we're not talking about like literally shooting them down. We talk about giving them the information. It's coming from under the water where you have to trust what you see blindly because you can't see underwater clearly. But when you flip to a bird's eye view, you can see from above what you couldn't see from under the depth. What was in your subconscious mind was the fish. But bring it to your conscious mind, and now they are birds, fins and feathers. Right? So once you get this alignment of information where you can see it, like looking through a needle. The only way a motherfucker getting through the eye of a needle, he got to be smaller than the eye of a needle. Not impossible. Depends on perspective. How did a rich man get through the eye of a needle? Get as far away from that motherfucker as he can. Then who's ever looking through the needle's eye sees the rich man clearly. The problem with that is he's in the crosshairs of a scope now. Everybody know who doing the dirt at that point. Ain't no more hiding that shit. So the rich man would rather his elephant or camel, depending on the culture you come from, walk past the motherfucker holding the needle without being seen than to be seen through the eye of the needle. Right? He don't physically go through it. But the perception sees through the needle, which brings the rich man into the scope's view.
I get what you're saying now. That's crazy. So essentially what you're saying is that old phrase that it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven. It's the same thing as, it's like trying to get through the eye of a needle. And that's what makes it complicated is because he's putting himself in eyesight. Right.
He got to be seen to go through the eye. He can't go through the eye unseen. And once the rich man is seen as a hoarder of wealth, you have what I call now the Benny Hinn Creflo Dollar effect.
Creflo walking all that back.
Look, he ain't the only one.
he said ties is a lie. I was like, there you go.
He ain't the only one about to tell it all. See, they gotta all take the piece that they the most guilty of doing for their redemption. Right? So TD Jakes gave his ministry to his daughter because she is more upright than he is, and he noticed. The side effect to that is it's going to cause the disruption in the life of his other daughter, which you see him play out now. Right? Because she was the one who was supposed to have been the heir. But he made the righteous one the black sheep, which was thereby making the one who was supposed to be the heir lose her motherfucking kingdom because he treated the other one wrong. And it's in the treatment of the siblings. He should have treated them the same. You can't favor one of your children over the other. You can look at them differently, but you have to treat them equally. Right? And that's where he fucked up. So now the one he perceived as being the golden child, because she was the oldest, turned out to not be the golden child, the golden child was the second one because the deuces is the flip. Because Cain slew Abel. Abel didn't slew Cain. Right? And Cain was the oldest, so he lost the inheritance to all of the firstborn. So what would be an heir under the firstborn rule becomes the heir under the secondborn rule because Cain slew Abel. And Jacob tried to steal Esau's birthright.
Yep. Ship that man off.
And Esau is the ruddy red man. See that color? I'm just saying. So when you see these so-called Hebrew Israelites talking about the Edomites is pale-skinned Europeans, it's because they don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Flat don't know what they got a whole bunch of conjecture, but it doesn't mean what they think it do. And the only reason why they don't know what it means is because it's not for them to figure out the problem, or else they would have knew what it meant.
Right.
So Big Mama wanted somebody else to figure out the problem, so she let them chase their goddamn tail.
I think you, ain't all the way, but damn near broke it all the way down from top to bottom. What's going on?
That's hey, we go wherever the questions take me. You the mod on this motherfucker.
Yeah, they got questions. They definitely do. Now I know you passed this part, like you said, you were studying in the past, and you feel like the contract with it being dead, they don't have to honor any of this process.
No. I don't feel nothing about the contract.
Well, I haven't. Yeah.
Right. So the contract is expired. The reason it's expired is I closed the contract out on behalf of the people of the land because they never honored the treaty. I presented evidence to close the contract, the fact that every treaty has been complained about in open court. That's mean it's a public domain complaint that proves a prima facie case, meaning on the surface, off a clear first look, they obviously had no intentions on honoring any other treaties and had 400 years to do so. Since they didn't have any intentions of honoring any other treaties, I closed the contracts on behalf of the people. Not because I'm better than nobody or not because I'm smarter than nobody. I just knew what to do according to the law. And because I know what to do according to the law in both jurisdictions, our original jurisdiction before they came and under their system, I know what I'm supposed to do. It becomes now my responsibility, even if I don't want it. I have to do it. To claim everything for the ones who is unaware, because ignorance is no excuse, right? So it worked both ways. If ignorance is no excuse of you keeping our wealth from us, then when I reclaim the wealth, the ignorance won't be no excuse for my people to get their shit back. Because they don't know they have the wealth, that you can't use that to call them imbeciles in law because I claim it on their behalf. That moves me into a trustee status.
Yeah, you're acting as
to the people. Right. So now I'm just speaking up on behalf of every one of us. I'm not just speaking up for me. That makes the problem because everybody that speaks up for us is murdered by niggas. Or locked up by the pale nations of Europe.
Taking out the picture pretty much.
Yep. Neutralized. That's what they call it.
They're doing it with all the celebrities who get a conscience and start dropping some of the info of what's going on. They go to jail and then come back a whole different person.
But it's codes. Now watch this. Biggie was Chief Sitting Bull who got caught at the post letting the enemies through without properly screening them. That's Chief Sitting Bull. Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace is Chief Sitting Bull. Chief Sitting Bull now has to be publicly flogged before the rest of the chiefs. Now it got to be one of the assassinated chiefs in past history that does it. So first off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. A public flogging,
right? Right.
in front of all of the chiefs to see.
Right.
Okay, now, what does that mean in our culture? That means that in order for us to know who got caught slipping, he gonna take his punishment like a man, and he ain't gonna say shit. What'd he do?
He ain't say shit.
He ain't say shit. He took that shit, right?
On the
He ain't
chin.
the only one.
He said, "That's my boy." That's what he said. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, this is how you know he's sitting bull. The last interview, he's sitting down. I think he was at the Rucker, and he was doing the interview on. I think it was either Yo MTV Raps or it was on in the basement. One of the rap shows it was on. I think it was Yo MTV Raps. It was on. I think it was an MTV program. Okay, now he was sitting in the chair because he broke his leg in a car accident. Sitting Bull broke his leg when he fell off of a horse, or actually the horse carriage rolled over.
Mm.
And he had to walk with a stick because he had a pronounced limp. Mirror flip.
Mm.
Why in the fuck is Biggie not saying nothing to this nigga saying, fuck you and your wife? Motherfucker, I will be at your motherfucking head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something else going on here. I got to look closer because it doesn't make sense to me. Right? Especially listening to the skill set. The skill set, he can handle it. He can come back.
Oh yeah, he would have popped up for sure.
But the culture says he can't say shit.
You got to take that.
He got to take this public flogging in order for the rest of the chiefs to know which one of these groups is behind it.
Mm.
They came in, Albert Pike, 32 Degrees, Scottish Rite, Freemason, Blackamoors, and Tony Moores. The Tony Moores' job was to hold the front line. What's the front line? It's the face of the company. And the Blackamoors' job was to mastermind the plot. Where did the mastermind be at? In the laboratory,
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
the war room, congregated. Now, once this happens, it makes you start asking, okay, well, who else? Right? I see somebody talking about they trying to kill me. What's up, Kulu? Big Mama told me to leave you alone. And she told me that you was doing that for a purpose. Saying what I said. You know, so we gave me a wave, so I was sending him a shout out. Anyway, so now the problem that we all face with becomes clear if we can read our culture back before they brought this other shit over here. Right? So now in reading the culture, I'm seeing, okay, this other guy talking about he big baby Jesus, Osiris, big baby Jesus. Why is he doing this? Like, what is it? What is he meaning? Because he looks slightly off tilter. Chief Crazy Horse, Shinnecock,
ODB.
Yeah. Chief Crazy Horse is instrumental in fighting with Spanish, French, and English forces. Right? And Geronimo, who is Geronimo Pratt, GINDJAB. Right? When he said his name was GINDJAB, that right there tells me, because that is Geronimo in his indigenous tongue.
GINDJAB.
GINDJAB.
Mm.
So when I hear that, I know exactly which one of the chiefs he is. So now I'm listening to him. I'm watching his moves as a strategist. This tells me who 80% of the members of the Black Panther Party are.
Mm.
Once I get this in understanding of what's taking place on the land, and then now I can say, hey, family, look, this is how we get our shit back.
Mm. Just that
once I realize this, right? So once I realize it, well, I can't wait. All this shit time sensitive for the ones who know what to do have to execute. They don't wait on the rest of them. They'll figure it out when you get done doing the work, right? So July the 4th, the contract expired. July the 6th, I staked the claim. I exercises the blood right and the right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told them on behalf of us. So let's say when I'm doing it, once I told you I did it, it's the same as if you did it in our culture. If you one of the chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to tell the people, the chiefs who is responsible for staking the claim that is currently living but not doing their job. And then I got to find out why they not doing their job. And then I got to tell the people who they are so that they can demand that whatever system is parks in our community. Whatever system parks in our community, there's always, if we go back to our culture and our traditions, our oral traditions, there's always a remedy for us to reclaim the land back. All we need is a Jubilee year and a just cause. That's it. The only two things we need in order for us to reclaim what's ours. Now, leading up to the Jubilee year, I got to inform as many people possible on the land, like motherfucking, what's the nigga riding on the horse talking about the British is coming, the British is coming? Paul Revere. I'm on some Paul Revere shit now. Them bitches is leaving. Them bitches is leaving. Them bitch motherfuckers is leaving. Right? So I'm spreading the word across to them. They got to fucking go. Wake up. They got to fucking go.
Right.
Right? So now, when they wake up and y'all see what's going on, some of y'all gonna say that nigga tripping. Some of y'all gonna say, let me see what he talking about. But the sisters gonna know the whole time. Yeah, as soon as Rod get done telling their ass, and if they listen, right? Every time one of the righteous sisters here, they say the same shit. All you gotta do is go back and look on my lives where I have guests on there. That resonates with me, what you be saying.
They do. It's in the subconscious though, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's resonating with them because they know something instinctually that men don't instinctually know. Big Mama gonna send somebody to make sure when her daughters ain't being treated right, that they get all they shit. And I just so happen to be the motherfucker they seeing. So when I'm not doing what Big Mama want me to do, I can't even get a 2 minute, I can't even get a, hey, how you doing out of sister. Period. But as soon as I figure out the problem, right, and then I follow the path that Big Mama and Mama laid for me, and they see me coming in, I got a different energy to them. Now they want to talk to me. Mm-hmm. Now they want to say, good job. You did what Big Mama sent you to do. We proud of you. We see you. Right? But I'm still going to have to wrestle with some of the guys because if I'm not performing in an area, somebody going to come and ruffle my feathers to make me get that part of the job done because that's what Big Mama going to send somebody. She always do. That's why I don't be so quick to fly off the handle with my short temper no more. But I will get into the shits. But sometimes I got to get into the shits, right, in order for me to see what she's trying to show me.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes that's going to bring out the best in you.
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 minute because my sound went out.
All right. Oh dang! Okay, we gotta get into some of these questions they dropping. There's some good ones in here.
Hold on. You know, let's say this here, and then we gonna do a part 2. That's all Q&A with what you got in there.
Okay.
So tell me, right? Because I gotta get my sound right.
Okay. Wait
a minute. I can hear you.
It came back.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Well, we can rock on out then. You got the questions already.
Oh, bet. So this one is from So Wavy Girl. This is why I asked you that. That's what's like. I know you feel like the contract's over, but people are still looking for remedy because they still got these quote unquote bills. So she's asking, why do they report late? She's asking how to pay my light bill.
I made it where I didn't have any bills before I started my mission. So, you might get your lights cut off for a month. It might happen anyway.
Right.
Right.
The power go out.
No, serious. Look at what we gotta read. What's going on in real time? They're running out of diesel fuel. A lot of the electric producing facilities have diesel fuel generated generators as backups to whatever source they use, like hydroelectric or wind. They got backups that's made of diesel fuel. So if you get an overflow, the diesel fuel engine kicks on to add extra power to the local community. We're running out of diesel fuel. The reason we're running out of diesel fuel is because they are not making the detergents that allows the diesel fuels to be converted into fuel. And so we're going to experience that, but the sooner we separate from the system, the sooner we don't give a fuck about the system.
About paying bills.
A couple of streets over from me.